You are merely the accountant's wife. It doesn't give you the right to act in such a haughty manner. I once received an invitation to a politician who happens to be one of our most significant clients' birthday parties. On the other hand, his son Sean approached us as soon as he noticed my wife and said, "Hey, let me take your wife for a while." "All right? You know, I can really improve things for you at work." But we politely turned down his offer. In a fit of rage, Sean doused my wife's clothes in alcohol. The color of red wine damaged her lovely beige dress. There are things that are acceptable and things that are not, regardless of whether you are the son of a politician. "Calm down. Please apologize to my wife." I calmly asked an apology. Sean, though, just shrugged it off. "You know, I'm not simply a congressman's son. The mafia is on my side, so I can do anything I want and not be caught. I'm unbeatable," he declared, laughing victoriously. I gave a slender smile in response, saying, "Oh, really? Which company are you referring to? Please bring them here." The mop he discussed is, in fact, I'm 33 years old, named Rick, and I work as an accountant. The reason I say supposed to be is that there's a little backstory. Being raised by a strict father, I received instruction in academics, martial arts, manners, and other subjects from an early age. I completed my undergraduate studies and graduate school studies overseas. I started an accounting company when I got back home. Even though our office is modest, we have a lot of clients, including politicians, and we seem to be doing well. I got married not long after I opened the accounting office. I am Gabriella, and she is the woman who became my wife. She is gorgeous, as her name implies. I met Gabriella while studying abroad, just by being there, and I remember being speechless when I first saw her because of how beautiful she was. She was gorgeous, stylish, and petite. I honestly didn't think I had ever seen someone more lovely. I could say this about myself, but I have a fairly ordinary appearance. I have an average build, am neither exceptionally attractive nor ugly, and lack any standout traits. However, I also see that as my tool in my profession. Unless it's absolutely required, it's best to blend in. That's my opinion. However, I really wished I had the stunning good looks of a Hollywood actor when I met Gabriella. And at this point, I'm happily married to Gabriella. Indeed, there is mystery involved in life. It has been 7 years since our marriage. We live in harmony, but we haven't had any children yet. Once, a politician client of ours sent an invitation to a party. It was the politician's birthday party, not one of those fundraising events that are frequently discussed. Being a politician, it was meant to be a very private affair, but it ended up being rather a spectacular affair. Gabriella wore a frock to the event, and I was dressed in a luxury suit. Gabriella was attracting attention from everyone around her as soon as she got out of the car, even if I, in my suit, might have gone unnoticed. Considering that she is my pride and joy, it seems sense. I wore silver-rimmed glasses and masked a proud shine behind them. Gabriella's dressed down today with a simple beige outfit. Since she isn't the major character of the event, it's a decision that won't stand out too much, but can still add some personality to the setting. The dress has a bare shoulder, strapless design. To match the dress's beige color, this skirt's length falls below the knees. She's sporting modestly high shoes with a simple design. She paired it with a short top made of airy chiffon fabric, even if it still looks too simple. I know I'm going into a lot of detail, but Gabriella is the source of all of this. She's forced me to study a lot of subjects, but I'm definitely not an expert on women's fashion. After all, these items have a tendency to become outdated really rapidly. Gabriella claims that it's meant to provide a sheer effect, but all I can say is that she always looks stunning in dresses. Gabriella's gorgeous, flawless shoulders peek out from under the skimpy top. Gabriella's bright complexion is only partially visible due to the fluffy layer over her elegant dress, resulting in an exquisitely stunning silhouette. It looks rather seductive up close, but Gabriella looks classy today because her hair is dressed in a simple curling manner and her makeup is muted. I tell Gabriella, "You look amazing," as always, after she gives me a last look at home. I'm genuinely impressed. Oh, please. Husbandry is the only thing flattery will get you. Gabriella corrects me as she approaches me for a quick embrace. She is flawless in every manner. That, my wife, is the kind of lady I still find unbelievable. Should we leave now? You'll undoubtedly be the life of the party at the location as well. That isn't acceptable. Michael and his family are the stars of today. Gabriella whispers, entwining her arm with mine, "Remember that." Despite dressing with such thoughtfulness, Gabriella nonetheless managed to attract notice. They would have looked like stars on the red carpet if she had been accompanied by a man of Hollywood caliber. Sadly, beside her, I'm just me, and for the moment, I'm thankful for that normalcy. After all, Gabriella really is that radiant. We were given name tags at the reception after introducing ourselves. I attached Gabriella's to her gown and fastened mine to the chest pocket of my suit. I don't mind at all. At parties, name tags on suit chest pockets are rather standard. However, Gabriella's flawless outfit appeared incomplete without a name tag. I had to let out a little sigh. Gabriella chuckled softly, obviously knowing why I was sighing. Firstly, we went to wish a happy birthday to today's star, Congressman Michael Simmons. Thank you, Michael, for extending an invitation to this happy occasion. Happy birthday. Well, Rick, I appreciate you and your wife coming. And Gabriella, you usually look amazing, but you really do look amazing today. Did you wear this outfit to my celebration? As a formality, Michael complimented Gabriella, but his genuine expression was evident in his eyes. Michael, you really do have a charming personality. I'm grateful. Gabriella grinned broadly and said, "Today's attire is for you and your supportive family." She then turned to welcome Michael's wife, who was standing next to him. Michael's spouse was once an actress, so she's not exactly a starring lady, but you would probably recognize her name if you heard it. Her notoriety grew when she married Michael, a rising politician at the time. After being married, she left the entertainment business and is now known for being the loving spouse of a well-known politician. She is still very beautiful even at 50. Gabriella took great care in selecting her response to Michael so that nobody would misinterpret her. Such exquisite thoughtfulness. We greeted Michael and his spouse and then interacted with the guests at the standing celebration. Gabriella wouldn't stick out more than she already did with this. I sighed with relief, allowing my shoulders to drop a little. I made the decision to mix in with the large group of people and take my time enjoying the party till it ended. We made our way around the tables, which were covered in a variety of delicacies, and took our plates to a table that looked appropriate. "How about beverages?" Gabriella stated. "I think we should probably avoid alcohol today," but her eyes remained focused on the drink counter. Despite what she says, Gabriella likes to drink a lot, especially on days like this. Fine beverages are constantly available in a selection. She probably wants to experience variety in her heart. It wouldn't hurt to have a little. Well, but even so, everything should be all right as long as we don't go overboard. Hold here for a little while. After saying that, I moved to the counter, and Gabriella gave me a playful tongue out. She has these beautiful moments that I admire, despite the way she looks. I chose a drink haphazardly that I thought Gabriella would like. If we could sample a little bit of each, that would be great. I can complete the remainder. I placed my order at the bar counter and was served whiskey on the rocks and a late white wine. Right today, this whiskey is quite well liked all over the world. What was formerly easily obtained at neighborhood booze stores has grown rare and expensive. But this place had lots of that special whiskey. That is one formidable politician, in fact. Well, I might as well take use of it while it's here. A tiny taste like this is ideal, since I simply want to enjoy the flavor of the alcohol, not get wasted. Just as I turned to go back to Gabriella after taking the glasses, I heard some noise. Gabriella felt as though someone was disturbing her. I felt bad leaving her by herself. Someone with bad intentions would inevitably take advantage of her beauty and approach her. I knew the man who was stirring up problems by looking at his face. Sean, the oldest son of Michael, was waiting for Gabriella to be by herself. "Are you the wife of Rick?" "Indeed, I am." "Exactly right. Together, let's take a drink." Gabriella deftly sidestepped Sean's attempt to place a familiar hand on her shoulder. "I apologize, but I don't drink much." "It's okay if you are unable to drink. Next, pour for me." With both hands holding drinks, he was mistreating Gabriella so cruelly. I quickly returned to Gabriella. "Rick," Gabriella saw that I had returned. "Pardon me, did my wife act rudely toward you?" Although I am aware that there hasn't been any rudeness, the individual in question is a client's kid. It is imperative that you treat the matter with civility. "No. It seems that your wife's statement that she couldn't drink was a lie when I asked her to join me for a drink." When Sean saw the glasses in my hands, he gave off a disgruntled face and remarked, "So, no, it's not a lie. She is allowed to drink, but we decided it would be better to limit our intake today, so we are just having a tiny taste." "Oh," Sean gave me a doubtful glance before returning his attention to Gabriella. "It seems like she is too good for you. How could such a beautiful woman come into the world for a plain, uninteresting guy like you who might be anywhere?" I was a little hesitant to answer at first. His comment wasn't wholly unwarranted. Yes, in any case, I'm just a dude with nothing special about him. On the other hand, Sean's looks alone may make him appear attractive to everyone. Tall and thin, with a build that makes it seem like he exercises. His arms and chest are toned, just like his stunning mother. Do you not think that I'm tens of times more appropriate for her beauty than someone like you, gentlemen? Indeed, if appearances are all that matter, Sean may be a better fit for Gabriella than I am, but only if that's the case. Hey, how about I take your wife for a bit? You know how much better I can make things at work for you." Then Sean put out a ridiculous suggestion. Isn't it a good deal? A mutually beneficial outcome. Isn't it the best course of action? No, I'm grateful. Before he could finish, Gabriella responded instantly, cutting him off. I also decline. I said, emulating Gabriella. Sean's jaw opened and closed in shock as his face flushed red. Most likely, he wasn't prepared for a rejection. He must have intimidated people weaker than him in the past by employing similar strategies. Sean suddenly did what came naturally to him. "You're just the accountant's wife. You don't have the right to act so haughtily because of it." And with that, he doused Gabriella's outfit in wine. There was a red wine stain on her beige outfit. There are things that are acceptable and things that are not, regardless of whether you are Michael's kid. Please give my wife your apologies. Trying not to get too angry, I calmly sought an apology from Sean, but he just laughed at us and carried on. It's not only that my dad is a congressman, you know. I'm supported by some pretty tough folks. Is that accurate? Sean said, "Let me explain it to you," as if my comment had incited him. "Gentlemen, don't panic. Since my dad has the mafia on his side, I'm the strongest person here." As though he was amused by his own remarks, Sean laughed at them. "Oh my goodness. Which company are you referring to? Please bring them here." I smiled back, just as thinly as Sean did. "What, you doubt me?" "No, not at all. I'm only saying that I'd like to meet those harsh folks you mentioned." Sean seemed to get even angrier as I forced a calm grin on my face. "All right, later on, you come to regret this. Come on." Sean gave an order to someone in his group to go tell his father something. Though Sean doesn't exactly have a stellar reputation, he is frequently mentioned as Michael's successor apparent. It's actually pretty awful. With his parents' prestige at his disposal, he can do anything he wants. Even though it seems like his parents are always putting out flames that he ignites, they are unable to stop people from speaking. Even some Michael supporters publicly express their dislike for Sean being Michael's heir. His relationships with women are particularly flashy, and there are reports that he has paid women multiple times to keep their relationships a secret. I've also heard similar tales. Although Sean lacks authority, his parents do, and they are supported by strong individuals. Those factors must lead him to believe that he is in a position of authority. It's obvious that person is the lion's hide. Sean prompted his minion, who immediately ran to Michael and probably performed a dance they had practiced numerous times before. It was a very amazing demonstration of cooperation. While I was thinking about it, Gabriella quickly grabbed the 2 glasses from me and threw a lot of white wine over the stain of red wine on her dress. Sean was clearly taken aback by this sudden action. "Did you know you can dilute a red wine stain with white wine?" After saying that, Gabriella took a sip of the whiskey on the rocks. Yum. This is premium whiskey, which is becoming harder to find these days. Michael is a really knowledgeable person. Gabriella raised her glass in a toast, only her eyes still in it, and grinned prettily at Sean. Sean was motionless as if he were a statue, unable to say anything. Sean was probably expecting us to be scared and paralyzed by his remarks as a pair, so he was caught off guard by Gabriella's actions. Most likely, he was unable to understand what was going on. "I feel like the whiskey is getting to me a little. The temperature is rising. Please pardon me for a second," Gabriella murmured, passing me the glass before beginning to take off her jacket, which was smeared with wine. Then her shoulders showed off their sheen. Her flawless white complexion drew Sean in, but something else started to show on that flawless skin. "What's that?" The shapes began to take on color, and before long, Gabriella's right shoulder had raised carvings that revealed a gorgeous red rose. Raised tattoos, also called tatos or ink, are the name given to this method. Insiders call them carvings. These crimson rose-adorned carvings stretched from Gabriella's right shoulder down her back and to her left. Sean appeared to comprehend, albeit in a weak way, that a woman with such tattoos was not your typical person. His skin became pallid. Gabriella gave Sean a heavenly being-esque smile as she raised the hem of her suit a little to reveal the rose on her left thigh. Though I felt that someone like him didn't need to be given such a show. But Sean's already pale complexion went absolutely white at that fleeting glance, leaving a lasting impression. By then, Michael had realized what was going on and came running over to us. "Hey Rick, my son has reportedly caused some difficulty." Michael was sweating profusely, much of it from cold sweat. "Joan, what have you done?" Well, Michael's hard stare made Sean shudder. Until now, he'd probably been indulged, getting away with anything. It was most likely the first time he had ever seen his father looking like this. "It's nothing major, Michael. It was only a wine spill by accident by the young master. That's all," a smiling Gabriella said. "Yes, that isn't very important. Just a small slip-up, something like from a kid." "Yes, just that. However, the thing that worries us is what the young master stated afterwards. We've heard your son brag about having tight relationships with some tough people. We're interested in finding out who they could be. We are eager to meet them." Michael and Sean looked to shake even more at our remarks. Maybe Sean was beginning to see me for who I truly was. Michael said, "I'm so sorry," with genuine regret. "It's an oversight on my part. I'll instantly correct his behavior. I urge you, please be generous." His speech faltered and became unintelligible. Michael told his secretaries to take Sean away, meaning to hide him from view. "Now, it's a family affair. Gabriella, I think it's time for us to part ways." "Yes, that seems likely." Gabriella concurred, and we got to enjoy some fine wine. We left Michael to finish up and departed the venue. I was the tough person Sean was referring about. I manage an accounting firm on the outside, but I'm part of the financially literate mafia behind closed doors. Upon my birth, my father, seeing the mafia world was unsustainable, put me through a rigorous training regimen to become his heir. Gabriella hails from a family of mafia members as well. Her father was a mafia member in the past, but appears to have realized that things couldn't stay that way. By marrying their children to each other, our dads both placed a wager on our marriage's ability to survive. Our marriage and meeting happened abroad as a result of several domestic issues. In essence, it was a political union. But Gabriella captured my heart right away, not just because of her beauty, but also because of her vivacious personality. She was, as we had all seen previously, a genuinely lovely woman in my opinion. At first, Gabriella wasn't very excited about it. She had a thing for the traditional mafia movie tough guys. She so reluctantly agreed to the marriage to me for the benefit of her family and the organization. But as we became closer and spent more time together, she also developed a deep affection for my inner self. Although Rick has a civil servant's exterior, he harbors a mafioso's spirit. We became a madly in love pair as a result of what she would say, ostensibly complimenting me. We now find it impossible to envisage our lives apart, especially given how deeply we love one another. What we hate most are people like Sean, small-time pikes. Because we are aware of exactly what the name mafia signifies, we never cause harm to common people. However, someone without any authority of his own like Sean often uses the assistance of others to tread on others. Michael retaining an heir similar to him. Their future is not what we perceive. Gabriella entwined her arm with mine and added, "You know, in fact, but maybe we should give him a chance." "Once," responded I. "We've known each other for a long time after all." We watched closely to see what Michael would do next. Gabriella continued. Sean went into a sick spell shortly afterward and withdrew from society. Most likely, it's merely a front. Michael designated his heir to be a secretary. Sean is the lone heir for the Simmons family. They have 2 daughters, and it appears that the eldest and the secretary will get married. "I wonder what this secretary is like," thought Gabriella. "He's a really remarkable person." I told her that there had been discussions for some time that he might make a fine heir. So the only question is if the oldest daughter can grow to love him, Gabriella thought, her countenance softening a little as though she was thinking back to her own experiences. "I'm lucky to have married someone I love so dearly, but I would have felt sorry if that weren't the case," she said. I have the same emotions. Although Gabriella is here, so that makes me glad, but who knows how things may have gone otherwise. In expressing my truth, I admitted it. I would have married for the benefit of my family and organization, and would have taken care of my wife, even if Gabriella hadn't been my partner. It remains to be seen, though, if I would have experienced such happiness. Right, and even if the person was wonderful, if the chemistry wasn't there, it just wouldn't work, said Gabriella. Yes, I said. Gabriella wished for the secretary and the oldest daughter, saying, "May those 2 cherish each other and find lasting happiness. We wish for the continued prosperity of the Simmons family, as well as the happiness of the new heir pair. This is so because these desires are intertwined with our organization's strong bonds and with our own promising future." I said, "Gabriella, we also need an ear." Gabriella put her head softly on my shoulder and reddened like the wine of that day at that moment.